Yup. How you doing?
Oh boy, buddy,
You're here for the podcast. Are you here for the podcast? Come in. Sit down. Hey, everybody.
There you go.
Podcast time.
Yeah,
Woo.
WULFF DEN Podcast.
Guys.
The #1 podcast with two guys named Wolf on it.
Yeah. Yep.
Find another one,
Hey,
and I'll beat them up.
that camera suspiciously low.
Also like this.
Okay, that works.
I mean, this is how I usually sit at home. It's uncomfortable, but I'm old.
Hi, everybody. Today, many things to talk about. Before we get into any of it, though, guess what? We're getting Tetris games on Nintendo Switch Online.
Yes. Now, we've talked about this before. NES Tetris is coming to Switch Online. That's not news. What is news is that in a video posted to Nintendo's YouTube channel, starring Tetris creator himself, Alexei Pajitnov, we are also getting Tetris DX for the Game Boy Color.
Oh,
yes.
I remember that one.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's weird because like the DX line of Game Boy Color games were like essentially color remakes of Game Boy games, but like enhanced with like new-ish features.
Right.
I don't know what the new-ish features of Tetris DX are.
You know, when Tetris 99 came out and I first played it, everyone was telling me I was bad, because I was. But everyone was being like, why don't you just hit up? Or why aren't you storing your hit up to slam the guys down? Or why aren't you
hit down to slam them down?
Oh, whatever. Or why aren't you storing your why aren't you storing your Tetraminos to use later? Because you couldn't store your Tetraminos to use later in the Game Boy version.
Exactly,
that's the only version I played.
Yes. And believe you me, like Tetris is a perfect game. I have said this before. I will bang that drum till the day I die, which might be soon. I'm old. But Tetris is a perfect game. It was a perfect game back when it came out in the 80s. It didn't need any of your fancy modifications like storing Tetraminos or sliding it around on the floor to get like the last inch in, you know?
You could do that. You could do that a little.
But like by one block. Nowadays, you could like basically slide it across.
You get like a lot of leeway. Yeah. I mean, they've made a lot of modifications.
Yeah, but like it didn't need it. Like,
can you slam the pieces down?
It's not so much a slam as much as it is like a fast drop.
Yeah.
Like you
hold down.
You hold down and it goes fast, but you can stop it to like make it go slow again.
Yeah, I remember in the newer versions there is a button that I think you hit up and it slams it down.
I thought up was the store. It's different in everyone.
Okay. There is a button to slam it down instantly, and that is not a thing in the Game Boy version. It's anyway. Talk about Tetris. Actually, I'm gonna bring up Tetris later in the episode.
Oh boy! Imagine it's the backlog pick.
Ooh, or I'll forget. There's a possibility I'll forget. Another thing two other things we gotta talk about before we get into the Nintendo Switch 2 leaks. Of course, wow, amazing!
What a surprise!
One is that this might be the last show of the year.
Yeah.
Next week is Christmas Eve.
Yes.
The week after that is New Year's Eve.
Yes.
So.
What do we do?
What are we going to do?
I did bring this up to my wife. Next week, Christmas Eve, we'll be at our uncle's house.
Yes.
Now, he is a wolf. We could theoretically do the podcast, the WULFF DEN Podcast Christmas special with the most wolves on the show ever.
That is a very good point.
Right? Our dad would be on the podcast, so it would kind of get annoying real quick.
That's why I don't want to do a 2-hour podcast.
But we would have our uncle, our cousin, his fiance, Hannah would be on, my wife can come on, our mom, which would be funny, our wacky Aunt Diane, which would also be funny. But not my kids.
Okay. We're not going to do that. So, I don't know. I feel like we should pre-record something or have something on a weird day or something.
Yeah.
Because going 2 weeks without a podcast
that's a lot.
Is a lot.
It's bad for the algorithm.
But we will not be live for the next 2 Tuesdays.
Yes.
So I guess we'll see you all the way on the 7th after this.
Yeah.
Sorry, everybody. I'll be Twitch streaming and releasing videos and stuff. Anyway, what else? Oh, yeah, one more thing that I want to get off of my chest right here at the top. I got an email.
Okay.
It was breaking right before we went live. Don't look.
Okay.
I got an email from Famous Birthdays. Okay? This was to my email.
Mm-hmm.
and it says, fans of Will Wolf are visiting his famous birthdays profile, but there's something missing. His video. We love for Will to send in a Q&A video. The video will be on his famous birthdays profile. Here's how it works. Reply to this email stating your interest. We will send a list of questions for the video. Will Wolf will record the video with answers to the questions and then send the video to us. We'll do the editing and alert you once it's up. So you have to do this.
Yeah, I have to do that.
So reply to this. Okay, so I guess I'll just say, yeah, we're interested.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
And they'll send you a list of questions, and then you send them a video of you answering the question.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, I can do that.
It's going to be like, what is the last 4 digits of your social security?
Yeah.
What's your grandmother's maiden name? What was the first car you ever drove? What's the elementary school?
Yeah.
It's going to be all shit like that. So anyway, if you ever had any questions you wanted to ask Will Wolf,
now's the opportunity.
Now's the time, but you have to run them through famous birthdays. All right. I guess that's all that stuff. I guess also Edward Bova, thanks for the gifted sub. And Mr. Game Tech, thanks for the 9 months. And Kodo Kestis, thanks for the 13 months. And that's it. Now we could talk about the actual gaming.
Yes. Yes. So this came out very shocking. Well, so there have been a little leaks here and there about what the Switch 2 looks like. Not even like the tech involved, but and like what games it'll play. Just like generally, what's the damn thing gonna look like?
Well, there it is.
Yeah, that's just it.
That's just it. It's just right there.
The design of the Switch 2's next-gen console may have leaked yet again by an accessory creator. dBrand, a company that's no stranger to controversy, has posted a page for its upcoming case for the Nintendo Switch 2. The company first shared a look at the back of the case online on its social media page. With it came the message, "We will not be answering any questions at this time." Just under 20 hours later, dBrand doubled down with a link directly to a page titled Switch 2 with even more looks at the case it calls the Switch 2 Kill Switch. On the page itself, however, is where you get a better look at what appears to be the design of Nintendo's next system. An animation of the case rotating seems to show a Switch 2 console complete with the curved Joy-Cons and extra buttons that we saw from the past design leaks. Aside from the animation, the only other thing on the webpage is a form to sign up to be notified when it becomes available. Despite stating that they would not be answering any questions at this time, Insider Gaming has reached out to dBrand's CEO on the case and the design. Should a response be received, it will be added to this article. Now, when this leaked, when this happened, normally when a company accidentally leaks like a future product, like an unreleased product, they quickly take it down. And if anybody who asks any questions, they say, "We have no comment at this time."
Yeah.
That's it. dBrand is not any company. Because almost immediately after, their CEO just said, "Yeah, that's it."
So they did not accidentally leak this.
No.
They had a whole website planned.
Yeah.
This is legit. They planned to do this.
Yeah.
I don't think it's gonna have neon blue and red Joy-Cons. I think that's some creative that's some artistic license that dBrand.
Well, I mean, that's become the color of the Switch. Like the neon red and blue.
It could be a marketing thing. It could be them being like, "This is what a Switch looks like, and this is what you associate with." Like when I would make thumbnails, I used to have the gray Switch, and I would Photoshop them to be neon because people recognize that more for a Switch.
So I'd imagine if the Switch 2, if they're not going to do red and blue, they got to have some unique color scheme. But like red and blue has become so like iconic with the Switch.
Well, according to our whiteboard here. Forward backward on Family boards says black and white Joy-Con.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean that kind of became iconic with the OLED one.
Yeah. The black. Well, the white.
Yeah.
It's unclear. Well, there's going to be 2 colors.
Right.
There's supposedly 2 different SKUs. So we're not too sure what colors they're going to be.
Right.
But some are leaning towards black and white. That could also just be like, I don't know, like a for placement only. A production test or something. I don't know. There's a lot of nothing's official.
Either way, the point is, The Verge asked dBrand CEO Adam Ijaz to be sure, and he said that dBrand has the actual dimensions, not an educated guess based on a 3D scan of the real hardware.
Yeah. So this is not the first case company to leak this, and I think that's why they did this. I think they felt comfortable announcing this because so many other manufacturers have done it. Notably, Satisfye. We talked about this in passing, I think, last week or maybe the week prior. They, I think, actually accidentally leaked their switch to grip.
Yeah.
And that is not a Switch 2 that we're looking at here. It's just a regular Switch.
Yeah.
I think they like photoshopped like an extra button on it or something. So, but I mean, the dBrand one is a render as well. It's not a real Switch. It's just a render.
But like it's with this render though, we got confirmed dimensions of the hardware.
So it's a little crazy for a company. They have to be really confident. All these case companies have to be really confident that this is what it's going to look like because they're announcing it publicly. Imagine if Nintendo just pulls a 180 and it's like a completely different device.
Yeah.
But they have to be really confident in the dimensions and everything because you can't just like turn a mold around in like a month. You know, that's like a huge deal. It costs a lot of money to get a mold for a piece of plastic like this. So like tens of thousands of dollars. Usually I think like 10,000 for like one mold, but it could go up.
It could be bigger. Yeah.
So if the dimensions are a little different, or if any little thing is different, it doesn't fit perfectly. You just wasted tens of thousands of dollars. So they have to be really confident that it's going to look like this and it's going to fit into this mold. So you can change the marketing, but the actual fit is they have to be really confident, and it seems like they are. I'd imagine that a manufacturer in China is telling everybody, is leaking the dimensions or selling them, selling the dimensions. So they're not even the only ones.
Right.
Here's another case company. I don't know who this is. This was from Centro Leak. This is like some shitty Amazon case company. But it's yet again another Switch 2. It's got the same little... Oh, so they're telling us that that's a home button, and they still don't tell us what that is, though. That little extra button on the bottom.
Well, dBrand goes into detail on like what some of the buttons do. That's
interesting.
iJazz says it's his understanding that Joy-Cons are magnetically attached with an ejection button that's on the back of the Joy-Cons near the top, and his new cases takes advantage of the detachable controllers. He says the controller portions of dBrand's case can detach with them inside. He doesn't know what the second square button is under the home button, which he says has a C printed on it. The left Joy-Con in dBrand's mock-up still has a button on the left Joy-Con, which is where you'll find the capture button on the original Switch. So it's unclear if this C button is now means capture or if both buttons work differently.
That's really bizarre. Yeah. So there it is, and there you can vaguely see a C. This is not dBrand's mock-up. This is that shitty Amazon case company. Also on this, the X and Y are flipped for some reason. This is just a really bad Photoshop.
Interesting.
And so it looks like that has a C on it, and the one on the left that is normally the capture button is blank.
Okay.
So maybe they moved the capture button, and now this is something different.
Yeah.
That's very strange. But yeah, I think this case as well is taking advantage of the fact that the Joy-Con snap off. There's a picture of the back where you see the little magnetic So we thought originally that might be a button.
Yeah.
That might be an extra button. But it looks like that is probably the thing that's going to activate or deactivate the magnets. And then up here, you see an even clearer picture that is a C. And again, this is not even dBrand. This is a different company.
Someone else.
Yeah, so that seems to confirm that. So who knows what that is.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's looking like the Nintendo Switch 2 might be a little boring.
It looks like a sequel. You know, it looks like...
I'm not mad about it.
Yeah.
It's like the 3DS to the DS.
Yeah, like, why rock the boat? Like, why...
I kind of want this. I kind of just want a better version of the one that we already have.
Most people just want, like, exactly that, a better version of what you already have. Like, nobody needs, like, them to reinvent the wheel. They already reinvented the wheel. They don't need to do it again.
Yeah. And it sold so well.
Mm-hmm.
People already know what it's like.
Yeah.
You know,
I think that's another thing, too, because it sold so well, they don't want to alienate that audience.
Yeah.
So they created a system that's, like, close enough to the original where the early adopters will grab it immediately, and those who want one down the road can be secure in the fact that they have the regular Switch and then eventually get the new one.
I've been talking to people a lot about this, about how when the original Switch came out, it was such a huge deal, and so many people were looking online for information about it, and they saw me and other YouTubers, and it was like a huge boom for all these YouTubers and stuff. And I think that this will still be a huge boom for a lot of people who make content around this.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are going to be interested in it and want more information, but less people will want more information than they did on the original Switch.
Yeah.
Because people already know what it is.
Mm-hmm.
That one, it was so new and so different. No one was doing anything like it before. There were no hybrid consoles. There weren't any powerful handhelds at all. And now there are so many. So I think it will still be a huge deal. I think it'll sell great. I mean, the 3DS sold an insane amount too, compared to the DS. But it's just not going to be the same sort of cultural shift that we saw with the original Switch because it's so similar to the original Switch, which I think is fine.
Yeah, I think that's okay.
I'm not upset about it. I'm happy with my with all my little handheld. We got a good little handheld situation. The market is great right now. There's one more leak. This one was really popular, made the rounds, and a lot of people were tweeting it at me and saying to add it to the whiteboard. Breaking Nintendo Switch 2 massive leaks. This is from Deck Wizard. 3 models at launch: Gray, White, and MK9. So I guess that comes with Mario Kart 9.
See, I hear MK.
I immediately thought Mortal Kombat as well. But yeah.
Can you imagine if it came bundled with Mortal Kombat?
That would be...
We would have come a long way from the 90s, my friend.
That would be very funny. January 2025 reveal. It's Mortal Kombat, but there's no blood.
Yeah.
The blood is green. January 2025 reveal. That makes the most sense.
I've heard that independently of this. That January 2025 is when we're going to get the reveal.
I've heard that. We also heard the gray and white Joy-Con. So this is all corroborated with stuff that we've heard previously.
Yes.
Mario Kart 9 launch title. We've also heard that. But that, I think we've heard mostly as just an obvious, like of course they're going to do Mario Kart 9. Magnetic Joy-Con and Hall Effect sticks. Magnetic Joy-Con we heard before. Hall Effect stick we heard a little bit. I am curious about that because I've said before I wouldn't put it past Nintendo to not use Hall Effect sticks and just make the sticks better. Like they don't necessarily have to be Hall Effect to be good. I think Hall Effect is just kind of a buzzword that people latched on.
Right, but if it helps, I think it would behoove them to include something like that.
It just needs to be a good stick.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if it's Hall Effect. Curved dock. This is a weird one. This is the first time we're seeing this, but I have heard independently of this that this is what the dock looks like.
Right.
So that's weird. It doesn't cover the whole Switch like the current dock does.
Yeah.
Which is bizarre. But this mock-up is a shitty Photoshop. You could see like the curves are like weird.
Yeah.
I think in one of them, in this one you could see they just stretched the Joy-Con. Like they're not like they're oblong shaped. I don't think they're gonna be like that. They're not gonna be like it's almost like a big curve. They'll probably be straight or a little straight on the edge. This mock-up, the second picture in the tweet, has the Joy-Cons being straight. But anyway, the corners of the dock curve in a weird way as well. I think that's just a bad Photoshop. But it says Switch 2 on the front. It's kind of an ugly logo. And notably, there is like a sleep screen on the Switch. So when it's in the dock, it's displaying the time, the battery level, and the weather. And there's like a Nintendo character on it.
Yeah.
This looks like a shitty Photoshop. I don't know if that's like for real. I don't know if I don't really understand that.
I mean, it's weird because you think about like every other handheld console that's come out, like the Steam Deck, the Ally, even like third-party Switch docks. They don't cover the screen. They're just literally a dock that you plug the system in.
Yeah.
Nintendo, I guess, in their own weird way, is like gonna do a half measure where it's like, no, we don't have to cover up the screen. But if we're gonna cover up a little bit, we're gonna have a cute little thing pop up and like, you know, a little Bowser animation.
It is nice to have a Switch in tabletop mode while it's charging.
Yeah.
So like having the option to do that is nice. This covers the screen a little too much, so it won't be able to do that.
Right. I mean, it's because like all that cover does is like keep dust away from your Switch.
Or scratch the screen. which happens.
Yes.
Hopefully there's a little bit of felt in there this time. Yeah. Also, rendering stuff on the screen while you're docking it, it takes some power away from what you're playing on the screen. Like when I plug in one of these PC handhelds, you can mirror the screen.
Yeah.
And that has a surprising impact on what you're playing versus turning off the screen and just streaming it or playing it straight to the TV. It could just be like a PNG, and like then it's not rendering much at all. Or it could only display this if you're not if it's locked and you're not doing anything on the TV. So I mean, it's cool to have extra information down there.
Yes,
there were some rumors of dual screens. Was probably the rumor that we thought was the least likely.
Right.
That would be Taiwan Economic Daily or Moisty Charlie said dual screen. So this could be the dual screen. It could just be this thing that we have going.
Maybe,
This like locks. So did I say everything? Curved dock, LCD screen, larger buttons. Larger buttons is nice. The Joy-Con buttons suck.
Yeah.
They're nice and clicky, but they are I think they are the smallest buttons Nintendo has ever made. I'm not exaggerating.
I know.
I think they're smaller than a Switch than a DS Lite.
Right. The dBrand CEO said that the buttons protrude by 1.57 millimeters.
1.57. That's a decent amount.
Yeah.
It's kind of a lot to protrude. It says the game carts are the same as Switch 1. That I don't believe. I think it's going to be like the 3DS. There'll be like a notch.
Right, but they got to be similar enough that you can play them.
Yeah, it'll be extremely similar, but the same, I think that's not accurate.
Well, you don't think they'll release one cartridge that can do both Switch and Switch 2 like Xbox does?
It might be like Game Boy and Game Boy Color.
Yeah.
Where there's cartridges that do both. But I think that there will absolutely be proprietary cartridges for the Switch too.
Yeah. They'll be clear like the Game Boy Color one.
Maybe. Again, I don't know. I'm not an insider. I would just bet a whole lot of money that there's going to be proprietary cartridges out there. I'd imagine you'd be able to play your regular Switch cartridges in the Switch too, but the other way around, definitely not. That would be insane. Something different's going to be going on with the fucking cartridge.
Right.
What else about this? Trevor says, saw a rumor the teeth of the new system cartridge is different. I guess he means like the contacts on the back. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. The current Switch cartridges, they're pretty. They're fine for physical media. They can handle a decent amount.
Yeah.
There's a decent amount of storage in there, and I mean, they're a little expensive if you get to the higher storage.
Yeah. Well, what's the highest storage? 32?
64, I think.
There is a 64.
Yeah, just nobody uses it because it's like $1 million. I think.
Well, I would imagine they would want to like now also do like larger formats than that. You know, maybe even 120.
Maybe. No, the maximum capacity is 32.
Yeah, because like if they want to fucking get Call of Duty on here, then it's gonna have to be 120. Because yeah.
So 32 is not a lot by modern game standards.
No.
But Switch games are small.
Yeah.
Like Breath of the Wild's the biggest Nintendo game, and it's 16 gigabytes.
Yeah.
There's like barely any 32 gigabyte cartridges out there.
Mm-hmm.
Most games will just have you download the rest of it, which is not ideal. But
yeah.
I mean, it's just that's the world we're living in. Chris Max says, hopefully bigger games on the cartridge for bigger and higher quality. Yeah. Chocolate says, keeping the cartridge is good for backwards compatibility, but the storage size of them is the issue for sure. You might get a little bump up to 64 gigabytes, but I don't think it's going to be anything too crazy. And again, I think there will be a notch in it, just like there is on the 3DS.
Yeah.
I would bet a lot of money on that. Farmer Gooch, thanks for the $10. I appreciate it. So that's it. I don't think there's anything here to put on the whiteboard because everything seems the same as it's just this regurgitating stuff that we have already.
This seems like the most confirmation of what we already know.
I guess we can put on it that there's a C on the
the C button
on the button.
Yeah.
I'll add that. Now, I guess I'll say dBrand.
dBrand, yeah.
The button. dBrand.
Mm-hmm.
And that's... I guess the dock. I guess we can say the dock.
Yeah.
Short curved dock. Running out of room here.
I told you we're going to need to get a bigger whiteboard.
Short curved dock. I guess I'll say Deck Wizard.
I guess if that's the person who...
That's who it is on Twitter.
Yeah.
Deck. Okay. There's some other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing mock-up renders from leaked dimensions and correct size. So there's a comparison on screen right now of what the size would look like. I don't know why it's cycling colors.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what the size difference would be to a current Switch. I am sick of all these handhelds being so big. Like, I don't mind the Switch 2 being bigger. I like having a big screen. But part of why I like the Switch is it's so thin and nice and portable.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Nintendo's system is still going to be like significantly smaller than like Steam Deck and the Ally and the Lenovo and whatnot. But yeah, we're a long way away from like truly portable, pocketable video game system.
When I was playing Zelda, the new Zelda on the Odin 2 Mini, the PS Vita size thing, it was awesome. I was like, I need this game on one of these guys.
Yeah.
Like, even the Switch Lite. The Switch Lite's cool.
Yeah.
Because it's the same shit. It's cheaper and smaller.
Mm-hmm.
I really hope eventually the Switch 2 has something that is like super tiny.
I think there'll definitely be a light version of it.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know how tiny they're going to go.
Oh, that's another thing I wanted to bring up. A lot of people are upset that it's LCD and not OLED. I don't care at all.
That's definitely a cost-saving thing, you know?
It's cost-saving, and it's the first iteration, so
yeah,
they want to get everything good before they...
I mean, Nintendo definitely has a price point they want to hit. They want this thing to be as affordable as possible for everyone. Mm-hmm. You know, they're not like Sony that thinks they can release a $1,000 console, you know, in the middle of a bad economy and be like, they'll buy it. So yeah, they're gonna cut corners where they can, and if like it's LCD instead of OLED, then I'm not gonna lose sleep over it.
Yeah, remember when PlayStation released an OLED Vita and then they released the LCD afterwards?
Yeah,
because it was too much money. It's not the screen being LCD versus OLED is not a deal breaker for me at all. I do not care. I have been mentioned in a lot of tweets because people are saying they would be upset if it's OLED because there would be burn-in. But obviously, we've proven that that's really not a big deal. It does look nicer, but like I don't think the payoff is anything to. It's not important.
Yeah,
that's not what I care about. I just want to see some good games on it, and that's it. Everyone's saying this is going to target $400. I think that that's pretty reasonable, especially in today's market with all these handhelds that are out right now. Oh yeah. Oh, hello, Nerd Nest. Nerd Nest is here.
Oh, hey.
Nerd Nest Bill. Switch 2 is the same thickness as the Switch. How easily would you be able to break it in half with your bare hand? I bet pretty easily.
Yeah.
Things that are bigger, like wider, and the same thinness, like just as thin as a phone.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah.
Easy work. But Nintendo stuff is resilient. Nintendo stuff is like the Nokia brick. All right. Is that all of the rumors?
Yeah, I think that's all. I think we covered it.
All right. Backlog! 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 Hey, everybody. Welcome to Backlog. Will, what's Backlog?
Backlog is a segment of the WULFF Den Podcast where we go through our entire video game collection. Combined, we have a total of 975 games. Every game gets put into a little Excel spreadsheet, and today we're going to pick one at random and talk about it, regardless of whether or not we played it.
What? How many do we have?
975.
I'm all over the place.
Now, I could cheat, because I know I'm getting a game. Good boy.
488.
488, that would be Street Fighter 6 for the PC.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, that's the new one.
That's the new one, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I got this.
Yeah, you got this.
I got this. Okay. It looked cool. I'm not like a big Street Fighter guy. I have been trying to get into fighting games, and let me tell you, this was not this did not work. This did not take for me.
Yeah.
I was a little interested in the story mode too. I kind of like the story modes for fighting games where you play through just like you pick a character and you just beat up all the other characters, and then you get like a stupid little splash screen.
Well, that's
story
a traditional
at the end.
Arcade style fighting game campaign. You pick a character and you work your way up the ranks till you get to the boss.
Yeah, and then at the end, you just get like a stupid little splash screen.
Yeah.
Like, I loved the ones in Marvel vs. Capcom 3 for some reason. I wanted to beat all the characters just so I could see like a stupid little interaction between Mega Man and freaking Iron Man or something dumb. And I tried that a little bit with this, and it was okay. There's like a campaign mode where you can play as like Ryu and Ken and the traditional characters. And it does have that arcade stuff. And then there is also a new thing to Street Fighter 6 where you create your own character, and there's this weird 3D world that you run around.
Yeah. So that's what actually excites me about this game. I haven't gotten a chance to. I played Street Fighter 6, which we'll get to, but I haven't played this version of it. And the big selling point was there was going to be like a more traditional video game style campaign mode where you create a character and you travel like this open world, and that's how you get to the fights, and that's how you unlock the story and level up and stuff.
Yeah.
So every review I read said that it was actually really fun and really interesting. You didn't like it.
It was not good. It was very bad. Like, I don't know what game these guys played.
Right.
Street Fighter 6, the regular old game where you're just it's a 1v1 fighter is good. It's very difficult to master. Even though it should be pretty simple mechanically compared to something like Smash Brothers, which has a million buttons and there's a million characters, but it can be very complex, and I could not really wrap my head around it. I would have to play hours and hours to like get online and get competitive with it. And I was not willing to put in the work. But the freaking campaign mode, it was campy as all hell, which
I mean,
it can be fine. It could be fine to be campy like that. I would be willing to put up with it. But you make your character, and the character kind of just takes on the attributes of other characters. Like you get like Chun-Li's like special, or you get like Ryu's special or whatever. And you go through this like story mode where you meet each character from Street Fighter. And then there's like a 3D world where you like run around and buy hot dogs and like beat up NPCs or get beat up by NPCs. And then you like have like random encounters where you have to like beat up 3 dudes with boxes on their heads.
Yeah.
The worst part is that it is janky as all hell. It doesn't run good. It's what engine is this in?
This is the Resident Evil engine.
Yeah. It's not made for something like this. It's so weird and bizarre. Even the 1v1 mode is not like well optimized, but once you get into 3D, it chugs on certain systems. And I'm trying it on like a 3060 Ti. I'm trying it on a Steam Deck, and it's a little rough. So all of that together, it was dumb. I wanted to really like the campaign, and it did not land for me at all. Not even a little bit. I didn't see at all what everybody else saw in the campaign. But you said you played it?
I played the arcade version of this because there is a local arcade.
They have a stand-up arcade?
They have well, that's the thing, because they only released the arcade version of this game in Japan.
Oh.
So the arcade we went to, which is in the old mall that we used to hang out with as dirtbag teenagers.
Okay.
They had the arcade version of Street Fighter 6 there.
We can say round 1. This is round 1 what you're talking about. Okay.
It's in Japanese. So I had to I
didn't know they had that.
Yeah,
that's cool.
That's the thing. It's tucked in a corner somewhere.
Okay.
With like the Injustice Gods Among Us arcade cabinet, which is just the mobile game, by the way.
Oh, that sucks.
They don't even like that's the easiest game to like port to an arcade version, but they use the fucking swipe mobile game bullshit. But yeah, it was Street Fighter 6, and to my knowledge, it is just the arcade version of the console.
The fighting, yeah.
So I fucking played Street Fighter. I picked a character, I went up the ranks as far as I could, and I had a good time. I'm not I like fighting games. I am not good at them. Yeah. If you were to challenge me to a fighting game, I would just put the controller down and cry because you would win. But I enjoy the playability of it. I enjoy the spectacle of it. It's the only esport I actively like watching because I can understand what's going on.
Yeah, fighting games are easy to understand. Yeah. When there's I try to watch Valorant because I understand Valorant, but there's too many camera cuts and stuff. It's hard to follow along, even if you know what's happening. But with a game like this, it's one guy versus another guy. It's very easy to.
And I'm usually a button masher, Mortal Kombat, Soul Calibur, Fighter Z, those I will button mash. But Street Fighter, I actually genuinely try to learn combos and use special moves because it is a lot harder to play than those other games. Even this version of the game, which added a simplified control scheme for the home version, it still requires a level of complexity that you don't see in a lot of other fighting games. It really still is the gold standard of what a fighting game should be.
Yeah, I should clarify that the actual 1v1 versus mode is good.
Yeah,
it is very good. That's all it needs. It does that. The little campaign I thought was interesting because it was different and added a lot. But it was not. This is where it's at, the 1v1 mode.
Right.
Is this that we're looking at right now a modified version? Because Chun-Li is almost naked. I'm pretty sure this is not what she looks like in the game.
What does the description say? I mean, there's a
Battle Hub beta.
I don't know. It's not rainbow mode, is it? Because I know that's a modified version. I know there's you can unlock costumes and stuff for all the characters, and maybe that's just one of the costumes.
This comment says it's going to be really hard to play Chun-Li with one hand. What are you doing with that other hand? Eating Cheetos?
This is the game where they finally reference her thighs. Chun-Li, one of the dialogue trees you can have with her. She asks you, "Are you looking at my thighs?"
Chad is confirming that this is a mod.
Okay.
I will be leaving this. Here we go. Yeah, I did like the 1v1 mode. It was difficult and hard to get into to play online, but I enjoyed trying to figure it out with just the CPU.
Yeah.
I put it on my arcade cabinet because I figured why the hell not.
Yeah.
And it was fun to mess around on that as well.
I do like also too, like speaking of the character design, I do like how they like try to evolve the character design. Because if you follow the lore of Street Fighter, first of all, don't. Second of all, technically, the chronology goes Street Fighter 1, 2, 4, 5, 3, and then 6.
Oh.
So this like finally pushes the series forward. But they actually like did it in the character design. Like Ryu, his base character, is like bearded and shirtless. Ken does not look like a palette swap anymore. He looks like a fucking dirtbag.
Yeah, Ken is fucked up.
Yeah.
Ken looks like they just found him on the street.
So like I think that's cool, and I think that's a good way to like breathe new life into
I think
the series.
in like 3 he like lost his wife or something. like his life is terrible.
Yeah.
So yeah, I played as him because I thought he looked awesome.
Yeah.
It's good as far as fighting games go.
Yeah.
I would just say just do not put a lot of have a lot of expectations for the campaign.
Which is a shame because like you look at Mortal Kombat and like what they've been able to do with story modes and campaigns in video games, and it's really good and a lot of fun, and you can tell a lot of effort gets put into it. And you know, like I said, Street Fighter is the gold standard of fighting games. For them to like not be able to hit that same high is like kind of upsetting. Hopefully, like, you know, Street Fighter 7 can like improve on what the campaign.
To be fair, I was like the only one who didn't like it. Like a lot of reviews liked it, so they will probably do it in the next one, and they should do something like that because they need to justify making the game $70.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're paying $70 for 10 characters to 1v1 each other.
Mm-hmm.
There's more than 10 characters, but not much.
18 characters at launch.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I say it's worth it.
Yeah, definitely.
It's a great game if you're into fighting games.
Yeah.
A lot of fighting game elitists have a lot to say when their favorite game gets a new version.
Yeah.
Because they always like the one that they came in on.
Yeah.
And the ones after that are all bad.
Yes.
But this one's good.
Yeah.
I like it. Get it if it's on a Steam sale.
Yes.
Guys, thanks for watching the backlog, everybody. Tune in to a podcast sometime. See you later. Goodbye.
Bye. Ugh.
MK shits all over Street Fighter lately. Are you serious?
I haven't played Mortal Kombat 1 yet, but apparently like nobody likes it. So like maybe they should stop shitting all over Street Fighter.
Daniel Dueling next to the $5. William and Robert, have either of you ever really been so far as decided what to go do look more like? Never.
Yeah,
I don't think I've ever. Your biggest fan, Stan. Oh my God, thank you. Sincerely, your biggest Stan. Well, thanks.
Thank you. We also had Turbo Limit with 4 months. Mary Wolfsmith, you gentlemen deserve a break. Also, Bob with love. A CRT computer monitor, unlike a CRT TV, does not have scan lines, so adding scan lines can make it feel like a TV, but without the whiny noise.
Hold on. I have to process
Take
this.
all that in.
A CRT computer monitor, unlike a CRT TV, does not have scan lines. Okay. So, how does it not have scan lines?
I don't know how.
So adding software scan lines can make it feel more like a TV, but without the whining noise. How does it not have a whining noise? I'm very confused.
Yeah.
By that. I saw. There are wide CRTs.
Like widescreen CRTs?
Widescreen, like 16 by 9 CRTs.
Yeah, I've seen those.
There's a Toshiba. I forgot what it's called. I think it is 480i.
Okay.
And then there's a Sony Trinitron that does straight up 1080.
Right.
I don't know if I want it to do 1080. Because that even has an HDMI. You can just straight up plug in an HDMI. Yeah. So you can just play your Steam Deck on it. And that would be cool, but it might be too clear for what I want to do with it. It might be a little too much.
The Toshiba 30 HFX 85 30-inch aspect ratio 16 by 9, this one?
No. Okay. I've never seen that one before. It's called something. It's like Cine something.
Got it.
It's sick. But I want a CRT so that I can put graphics on it and then film them to get like
Right.
a certain effect. I think because CRT monitors don't have that layer on the front that creates the pixels, this technology.
I don't know. This all sounds like nerd shit. You guys being nerds.
It's definitely nerd shit.
Yeah. Drew Suave.
Thanks for the 54 months.
Good evening.
Good evening.
And I don't know if we said Spank-wise. Another month, another day of the Wolf Bros.
Yes. And Random Heart, I don't know if I said thanks for the 27 months. Good. That'll give me time to catch up on the past 2 weeks. You guys have been in the shower with me for the past few weeks. Sorry, not sorry. Thanks for letting us know.
Yeah.
That could have definitely stayed with you. But
also, you could cut your shower time in half if you stop doing what you've been doing. You know what I mean?
Hey, you brought us in there.
Yeah. We can judge you.
Also, this show's 2 hours. What are you doing in there? Edward Bova, thanks for gifting a sub. I already said that. A coworker of mine has a 16:9 CRT. I helped him move it from room to room once. It weighed 12 million pounds and was exhausting to carry for 2 full-grown nerds. Careful what you wish for.
Yeah, my father-in-law's got some CRT TVs in the basement, and like I told him, do not get rid of those because.
Wait, I'll go get one right now. I need one. I was gonna go to Goodwill. If he wants to get rid of any of those, I'll gladly take one.
I'll talk to him.
Okay. Anyway, moving along, let's breeze real quick through these Game Award winners.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't think we were gonna spend too much time on it. The Jeff Keighley Awards were last week. Game of the Year, Astrobot.
Okay, pause. I wanted Balatro to win.
Right.
I'm upset Astrobot won. I like Astrobot, but man, it's just a platformer. I love platformers. And even they said when in their speech, they said we took a lot from Nintendo. They didn't straight up say Mario. They did actually straight up say Mario. They tried to be cheeky, but they were very obviously saying that they took inspiration from Mario to make this game. It is a good platformer, but it does not move anything forward.
It's definitely the safe bet. It's the family friendly bet. It's probably the most mainstream bet that they could have went.
I think the Game Awards has a harsh PlayStation slant. I think that they really favor PlayStation games.
It reminds me of when like the Oscars do this all the time. They'll have the movies nominated that will be genuinely like moving and like thought provoking and push the medium forward. And they always give it to like fucking Green Book or Crash or, shit like that. They never give it to like the movies that like truly deserve to
win. They did things different.
Yeah, like I don't know who
you
won.
have to kind of be in the circle.
Yeah, I don't know who won Best Picture of the year. Fury Road came out, but everybody agrees that Fury Road should have won Best Picture.
Yeah, because that was different.
Yeah.
I heard arguments that Black Myth Wukong changed the industry or moved the industry forward because it was a Chinese dev.
I mean, that's true. Yes, it is a big deal that a Chinese developer was able to create a...
There are so many Chinese... Like people are acting like this is the only Chinese game we've ever gotten. There's so many Chinese games. Everyone's playing... Isn't Marvel Rivals a Chinese game?
A Chinese AAA game. That's what it is. Like Marvel Rivals is not a AAA game.
Is Hoyoverse not a AAA developer with Genshin Impact and every fucking Genshin game that they have?
Not in the way we consider it in the West.
Yeah, because Black Myth Wukong is the quintessential PlayStation third-person action game. Black Myth Wukong is the game of is the Game Awards bait. You know.
Well, you know why it didn't win, right? Because woke.
Yeah, it was too anti-woke.
Yeah.
Look, I said I was going to mention Tetris. Somebody explained Balatro to me and said, if Tetris had come out this year, would it win Game of the Year? Or should it win Game of the Year? You know the answer.
Yes, but it won't.
Yes, and that is what happened with Balatro.
Right.
Balatro is literally Tetris.
Yes.
It took poker and it made it fucking awesome.
Right.
And yeah. It's just poker, so it didn't win. But I think that is actually a unique and different game that moves the industry. Yeah. Especially because it's an indie game.
Yeah, especially because it was made by one guy.
Especially because it was made by one guy. So I really wanted that to win. Again, I like Astrobot. I think people are too... I think this is PlayStation people who've never played a fucking Mario game before. What I like about Mario... I love the guy. But every Mario game, it feels like you've mastered the movement. It feels like... it makes you feel really good for doing some little nuanced movement things. And Astrobot, it's really good. It's got really good level design, but it doesn't have that part. Right. It doesn't make you master the movement that they've designed for that particular game. There's a lot of stuff in a bunch of different levels where they give you a mechanic that's unique to that level. But I think it's really good. It's slightly less than what Nintendo's been doing for fucking years. So...
Well, I think like a lot of the excitement is probably just from you look at the PlayStation catalog of exclusives from the past like 15, 20 years at this point. And they're all, like you said, third-person action-adventure games with realistic-looking protagonists and semi-serious to very serious tones. Uncharted, The Last of Us, Spider-Man, Killzone, God of War. Like, those are all, like, very serious games. And here you got this, like, little cute chibi robot going around going, like, I am Astrobot. So, like, they probably think this is, like, nobody's done this before. Nobody's created Mickey Mouse before, you know?
Yeah, and it did kind of... Is it teaching Nintendo a lesson? Because Nintendo didn't win anything.
Nintendo doesn't give a shit.
It kind of felt like a slap in the face that they ripped off Nintendo and then snubbed them from other categories.
No, I don't. Well, Nintendo didn't really have, like...
They had a shitty year.
Yeah, they didn't have like a big year.
Zelda was great.
Zelda was good.
I liked Zelda a lot.
Like, next year if a Mario game or a Zelda game comes out, not a Zelda game, but like if a Mario game comes out with Switch 2, guarantee that'll be nominated for Game of the Year. Possibly.
Will it win? Maybe not, because it's not a PlayStation game. If they put it on PlayStation, maybe it'll win.
All right. Do you want to keep looking?
Yeah, we'll keep
read. Just read the winners. I'm going to look up the Game Awards past.
Okay. Actually, I remember seeing a chart, and it was like all PlayStation. It was like 50% PlayStation game. Game direction, Astrobot. Best ongoing game, Helldivers 2. Okay, that's fine. I'm not too mad about that. Best art direction, Metaphor Refantasio. A lot of people really liked Metaphor Refantasio, and I think that had hand-drawn animation, or I mean, maybe not hand-drawn.
Yeah.
It had traditional 2D animation.
Right.
So that's cool. Best mobile game, Balatro. Gotta give it a Balatro.
Yeah.
Although I'm a little mad at Balatro right now because for the 4th time I've beaten it and it did not save my game.
Really?
So I'm a little mad. So
it deserves to lose Game of the Year.
It might. I might go against all of this and say that it deserves to lose. Best narrative, Metaphor Refantasio. I've heard mixed things about the narrative, but it is all narrative.
Right.
Best performance, Senua's Saga, Hellblade 2. She's won before.
Yeah, she's the only person to win twice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Best score and music, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I completely understand that.
Mm-hmm.
Best audio, Senua's Saga, Hellblade 2. I thought Astrobot had good audio. Right. Best adaptation, Fallout. I'm surprised it beat Arcane.
I'm surprised it beat Knuckles.
Best multiplayer, Helldivers 2. That makes sense. Best independent game, Balatro. Hell yeah, dude. Although I would have liked to have seen some love for UFO 50 because that game was also great. Debut indie game, Balatro. Respect it. Most anticipated game, nobody could win other than Grand Theft Auto 6. Best role-playing game, Metaphor Refantasio. Games for Impact, still don't know what that category is, Neva. Content creator, Queso. Like Queso, he's pretty cool.
Right.
Best action adventure, Astrobot. Best action, Black Myth Wukong. That makes a lot of sense. Best fighting, Tekken 8. That also makes a lot of sense. Innovation, accessibility. Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown. It does have really good accessibility options. There's accessibility options in that game where you can like kind of change the timing of attacks and stuff.
Oh,
so
wow.
it does kind of move things
Yeah.
forward. Best community support, Baldur's Gate 3. Best family game, Astrobot. That won against 3 Nintendo titles.
Yes.
Best sim/strategy game, Frostpunk. Sports/racing game, EA Sports FC25. Best VR AR game, Batman Arkham Shadow. Have you even seen anything or heard anything?
I know it got good reviews, and I've seen like a little bit here and there. Apparently, it is very good. Like they managed to translate the Arkham formula to VR.
That's the only one out of these games that I know anything
Yeah.
about. I mean, I know the old Arizona Sunshine, but that's it. Esports game, League of Legends. Esports athlete, Faker. Esports team, T1. The Game Changer Award went to Amir Satvat, who apparently pro bono just helped a ton of people in the industry who lost their jobs get new jobs.
Yeah.
So the industry needed something like that.
Yeah.
And he got a lot of shit I was seeing because people were saying, oh, look, it's the industry trying to make it look like the games industry isn't that bad. Because Jeff Keighley has gotten criticism in the past for not standing up and saying like, hey, the games industry is laying a lot of people off, and that's fucked up. You games companies should be ashamed of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So people think that he gave this guy a Game Changer Award to make it look like the games industry isn't so bad. I would say it's the opposite.
Yeah.
He gave this guy an award as a fuck you to the big game companies. Like, you guys are laying off all these people,
Like,
and this guy is doing what all you people should
The
do.
reality is like, yeah, Keighley has in the past like been very cagey about like addressing the layoffs and the poor work conditions in these companies for, you know, admittedly a bad reason because he needs their help to make the Game Awards happen.
Yeah.
So like there would have come a point where he couldn't hide from it anymore, and he would have to address something. And this is honestly the best thing he could do. He like said that the industry is not perfect, and he highlighted somebody. He didn't even have to give him the award. He just talk about somebody who's trying to do some good in, you know, such a chaotic industry. So like something had to be done, and this was a good way to do it.
Sui Kagura says, I think it was the guy's actual job that blew the fuse for commenters. He's not very clean himself either. What does that mean?
Like he's done bad things?
His job? Does he work for Marlboro?
Yeah.
Is he a CEO of a healthcare company? Anyway, player's voice, Black Myth Wukong, and then that's it.
Yeah. So I have on Wikipedia the breakdown of it. Oh, here we go. Yeah. Publishers, Sony Interactive Entertainment, 13 nominations, 3 wins. Nintendo, this is just for Game of the Year, 10 nominations, 1 win.
Okay.
And then Bethesda and Capcom tied with 4 nominations, no wins. EA, Bandai, and Blizzard. Sorry, EA and Bandai, 3 nominations. EA has 2 wins. Bandai has 1 win. Blizzard and Square have 2 nominations. Blizzard has 1 win, and Square has no wins.
EA and Activision probably make the most games, right?
Probably.
Most like high profile games.
Yeah. So the first Game Awards 2014 was won by Dragon Age Inquisition, which was a EA game.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next It Takes Two is an EA game.
Oh yeah. Look at that.
Yeah.
Original Spliff says it highlights the issues with the industry that it literally took a guy trying to do something good for people with It highlights the issues with the industry that it literally took a guy trying to do something good for people when large corporations with the power did not. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. And I think people are trying to make something out of nothing by saying it's a problem that he got an award.
Well, according to this article on PC Gamer, after the ceremony, Satvat himself came under attack for his job at Tencent, where he's been a business development director for about 1.5 years. The suggestion going around social media is that Satvat was presented as kind of a folk hero, but is actually part of the problem, or even a sinister industry plant whose heartwarming story was entirely manufactured.
Look. We don't like Tencent because they buy up a lot of companies.
Yeah.
And that's basically why we don't like Tencent. That's like what it boils down to.
Mm-hmm.
they're also foreign. So,
right. So
them buying up American companies were like, that's
Yeah.
fucked up. But just because he works for Tencent doesn't mean there's anything wrong going on. He could be trying to change the industry by working for Tencent.
Yeah.
And it kind of proves that he is by helping all of these people get jobs. So.
I genuinely don't think one has anything to do with the other.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. There's certain jobs that if you have, I'm like, fuck that guy.
Yeah.
but I don't think working for Tencent is one of those situations. All right. Next news, which is also related. Black Myth Wukong developers are sad that they didn't win.
Black Myth Wukong director Feng Ji has posted a lengthy statement thanking fans for their support following the Game Awards and expressed disappointment that the Game Science action title didn't come away with the headline Game of the Year award. Hugely popular single-player title won Action Game of the Year and the Community Voted Player's Voice Awards at the Game Awards, but it missed out on Game of the Year, which was won by Astrobot. Should have been won by Astrobot. In a post on the Chinese social media site Weibo, I feel like I'm going to throw up. That's outside of this, which has been machine translated. Feng Ji reportedly claims that he even wrote an acceptance speech for the Game Awards 2 years ago. The post reportedly reads, "In the end, it won Best Action Game in Player's Voice, especially the Player's Voice, which is gratifying. But I must admit that there are disappointments and regrets. The games nominated in this year are all excellent, but I really don't understand the selection criteria for this year's Game of the Year. I came here for nothing. From yesterday to now, I have also seen strong dissatisfaction, unwillingness, and unhappiness in the comments of many players, most of them expressed in a humorous and deconstructive way, which is hilarious." The translation continues. "I can fully understand this unwillingness to sympathize with this unhappiness because I know that behind these emotions, it is not pain and malice, but self-esteem and self-confidence. It is unclear if the tone of this post is sarcastic or joking, as several phrases in the post are humorous in tone. However, following the Game Awards, it was claimed by former Sony Santa Monica writer Alana Pierce that an unnamed developer from Game Science was seen crying when Astrobot was announced as the winner of the Game of the Year."
I don't like these guys, but I think that that's a little wrong to call them out for crying. I don't know if I would have said that publicly if I saw them in a moment of weakness.
Yeah, I didn't watch the clip from
I saw the clip.
So, like, I don't know
she said it she didn't like shit on them for it.
Right.
But she just said it as like a fact. But I feel like I would feel weird about saying that publicly.
Yeah.
You know, because that kind of, it's like a private thing. Yeah. Unless they were like sobbing and being annoying about it.
Yeah.
And I don't know what the situation was. But yeah. They were probably half joking in this message that they wrote on Weibo or whatever. They seem to be pretty tongue-in-cheek in their past posts. They also, in their acceptance speech for, I guess, which one did they have an acceptance speech for? Was it Action Game or was it Player's Choice? I think it was Action Game.
The Action Game.
When they did their acceptance speech for that, they did throw a little shade saying that the game's not that hard or something. Or because they've gotten, I think one of the controversies they had was saying that they don't want to have accessibility options and they're not going to make the game easier for women or something like insane. So it is a little weird that they are this upset about not winning. I mean, they did come a long way.
Yeah, part of me also too just wonders if that's like the culture over there, because I know you hear about the Chinese electric vehicle like industry over there and how it's like it surpassed us, like by leaps and bounds. What most people don't talk about is the reason why it surpassed us is China plays fast and loose with like human rights laws and environmental laws. Yeah, because the goal is not to do it safely or efficiently. The goal is to just get it done and show results. So I'm wondering if the disappointment in not winning Game of the Year stems from that. Like there was an expectation for them to not just make a AAA game, but to make the best AAA game of 2020. And they fell short of that.
What does that have to do with them playing fast and loose with regulations?
Well, it goes back to like the idea is if the Chinese government is going to fund your work, then you have to hit a certain target. And if you fall short of that target, that is going to be bad for you. You have to hit that target by any means necessary.
I think what's going on here is just that this guy is like the stereotypical terminally online incel. And like he just has these expectations of himself.
Okay, yeah.
You know, like he's just got some weird sort of like something going on where he lives online and then he shows up in real life and he gets a little he gets in his head and got disappointed. That being said, they won a couple of awards, so I don't think, and they got to go on stage. I don't think this was for nothing at all. No. I mean, it is a long way to go from China to LA.
Yeah,
but totally worth it. You're in a completely new market, and you've gotten some accolades for it. Yeah. So I don't think there's anything to be upset about at all. And also being nominated at all is a huge deal.
No, you're right.
Notably, the Balatro guy was not there.
No, he was not.
He said, "Fuck you guys."
He had friends go up and get it.
Yeah. No, he is a very private person.
Yeah.
So. I don't even think his name is public.
No, what's his handle?
Local Thunk.
Yeah.
And I'd like to have a word with him because he fucking keeps losing my save file. God damn it! I beat Purple Steak, and now I gotta beat it again. All right, announcements. You want to go through just the ones that we liked?
Well, I figure like we'll just say like the announcement, and if we have something to say about it, we'll stop.
Okay.
Yeah, because most of these we're not gonna say anything about it. But the first one we will. Naughty Dog's new game, Intergalactic: The Heretic Project.
Okay, this looks cool. Gotta admit, I wasn't that interested until I realized it was Naughty Dog. But when I realized it was Naughty Dog, I was like, all right, this has potential to be really cool.
I'm excited for it. I think it'll be fun. I do think that there's a lot of product placement in that trailer. Like the vintage Sony machines, the Adidas shoes. There was like one or two other things.
But it does look a little reminiscent of Guardians of the Galaxy.
That's the other thing, yeah.
But I kind of like that vibe. It kind of feels like an 80s movie.
Yeah, but by the same token, we've seen Guardians of the Galaxy a million times. Yeah. We've seen ripoffs of Guardians of the Galaxy a billion times. Like, I trust Naughty Dog to do something unique and different with the concept. I just hope that it's, unique and different enough. Because even I don't even think James Gunn is doing that anymore,
My other problem here is that they showed like a smidgen of gameplay at the end. Also, all of this they said was in engine.
I believe it,
and Naughty Dog, so I believe it. You're right, but they showed a smidgen of what looks like gameplay at the end, or what could be a tease of what the gameplay might look like.
Right.
Kind of looking like a Souls-like.
Yeah.
So
on the one hand, it's good because Last of Us and Uncharted are very similar games. And on the other hand, done with Souls-likes too.
Yeah, I want Naughty Dog to do something different, but this isn't different in the grand scheme of video games.
It's different for them.
AAA Sony games.
It's different for them. It's not different for us.
Yeah. So I am gonna play it. I'm excited about it. It looks really, really good. Kumail Nanjiani, it seems to be in it as well. I'm sure it's gonna be at least decent. Yeah. So we're not gonna see it for a while though.
Elden Ring, Night Rain announced a new co-op multiplayer spinoff. The Witcher 4 starring Cersei revealed.
We were just shitting on Soulsborns.
Yeah.
I never played Elden Ring.
Right.
I was not too jazzed about it because I've already played Dark Souls games. I know what they're like. I'm not that interested. A battle royale roguelike Elden Ring game that you play with friends might be pretty sick. I'm gonna play this game. This seems pretty cool. There's a game that I've been playing called Naraka Blade Point, which is a battle royale fighting game, 3D fighting game.
Right.
And it's fucking awesome.
Okay.
Nobody talks about it, and I don't know why nobody talks about it. It's a free-to-play game, and it's awesome. I feel like this could capture a lot of what I like about that, but it's also a huge AAA IP.
Right.
So I'm actually really excited about this, even though I shit on Soulsborne games all the time. Yeah. Anyway.
Witcher 4 starring Cersei. We got the reveal for that. Ico and Shadow of the Colossus director Fumito Ueda's next game teased. It doesn't have a title. It's just called Project Robot.
And it kind of just looks like Shadow of the Colossus.
But Sci-fi.
But sci-fi, yes.
Borderlands 4 got a first look. Cool. Okami is back, and it is being developed by original director Hideki Kamiya and his new studio, Clovers, the sequel studio to Clover Studios, who made the first game.
When this was shown, I thought they were just doing a musical number.
Yeah.
And then when they showed the trailer, everyone was like, oh my God, Okami! And I was like, are they paying tribute to Okami, or are they announcing a new game or something?
Yeah. But no, this is legitimately a big deal because Okami was famously a very well received PlayStation 2 game. It was critically acclaimed. It won a couple of Game of the Year awards when it came out. Very beloved game. Didn't sell shit. So Capcom closed the studio that made it, and Hideki Kamiya and a couple of other Capcom company, a couple of other people from Clover left to go form Platinum Games.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why we have Platinum Games in the first place. And now Kamiya left Platinum Games to go back to the well to make Okami 2, which is a game he's been wanting to make for years. So good on him. I'm glad Capcom is doing that.
And people really want a sequel to Okami, so that's cool.
Pac-Man goes dark in Shadow Labyrinth. Fuck is this?
This is the secret level episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. I need to watch Secret Level.
Right.
I'm interested.
I guess I should too, because like I got to play my dark and gritty Pac-Man reboot.
I did see Mr. Rock PR skeeted at me and said, don't bother with the Mega Man level. It's, the Mega Man episode, it's too short.
I've heard the show is not good.
Really?
Yeah.
That's disappointing.
So, the Outer Worlds 2 first gameplay reveal had a funny trailer. Good on them. Virtua Fighter 6 confirmed and is being developed by the Yakuza team.
Yeah, that's strange. And then they are also making another game.
Yes.
And it kind of looks the same.
I know. The other game is called Project Sentry, which looks like a violent turn of the 20th century spin on the Yakuza series, like a Dragon series. But I knew they wanted to bring back Virtua Fighter like years ago because they were like re-releasing Virtua Fighter 5, and I think that was like to test the waters if people were still interested.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's cool that they're doing something new with it and they're bringing it back finally.
I just got a neighbor's alert that says, anyone smell gas? Next is Split Fiction, which is from the
It Takes Two.
It Takes Two.
Has
A Way
Light.
Out. I only played A Way Out, and it was really good. I'm very interested in this new one, although the tone kind of just seems like a generic sci-fi game.
Yeah. It
Takes Two was like unique and cool looking.
Right.
This one just feels like a generic sci-fi game. But I'll play it because I like that Hazelight. I like that Hazelight does something different. One's focusing on co-op.
They are very committed to that scheme, and it's worked out for them really well. Like all their games do very well.
It's amazing that if you do something different, people might enjoy
or
it.
if you do something that you actively want to do.
Yeah.
Making, always online grindathons with loot boxes.
Maybe EA should learn a thing or two about that.
But they won't. Next up, Capcom teases a new Onimusha game. Onimusha Way of the Sword coming out in 2026. This is the first entry in the Onimusha series in 20 years, Robert.
I am very excited about this.
Yes.
I only played a little bit of Onimusha back in the day.
I only played the first one, and I think I beat it. It was a long time ago. But Onimusha fucking rules.
Onimusha back in the day, it was basically just
Resident Evil is samurai.
Yeah, and that's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
I don't know if this looks like Resident Evil as samurai. I was thinking, I always said they should remake Onimusha like they do with Resident Evil 4, how they're making all Resident Evil games like on Resident Evil 4. That would be cool for this, but this doesn't look like that. It just looks like a straight up Onimusha game.
Right. Well, I mean, hopefully.
Or a straight up samurai.
Well, because like Resident Evil is a shooter, Onimusha is a melee combat game.
Mm-hmm.
So like, it's going to be different. The camera has to be different. The way the action is framed has to be
different. The camera doesn't have to be different.
The camera has to be different. Do you want to know why the camera has to be different? Because otherwise you get a God of War and God of War Ragnarok situation where they put a third-person shooter camera on a melee combat game and it like messes with your mind.
All right. People loved God of War.
I know.
So it would work. I did not like God of War.
Yeah.
So I might agree with you there.
So there you go. But I'm excited for that. Sonic Racing is back. Sonic Racing Cross Worlds is coming out. That's all we know.
Okay.
Mafia, the old country, got a new narrative, a trailer. I could say that. I am Sicilian.
This looks cool. I'm going to play this, but only because of nepotism.
Yes. And we got to get our mom to do a live stream.
Yes.
A new Turok game, Turok Origins, is coming sometime soon. What? This is not Turok. Don't buy this.
No, and this doesn't. I mean, it's interesting that we're getting a new Turok game, but this doesn't look like anything like Turok. This is very different.
And I'm not like a big Turok fan. I don't want to be like a Turok defender or whatnot, but like Turok is a very simple concept. You are a Native American and you fight dinosaurs. That's it.
Yeah.
This is not that. This is like, it looks like it goes beyond that. It's also going to be like a co-op shooter, which we don't need any more of those.
Yeah, it's very strange.
Yeah. The Illuminates come to Helldivers 2. So we're getting Helldivers 2.
I'm not sure what this is. Is this a new... So there's only 2 enemy types in Helldivers. I guess this is a third because I don't remember these guys.
I think these are characters from the original Helldivers.
Oh, okay. Ancient Illuminate Civilization returns. Okay. Yeah, I guess it's new. All right.
Yeah, the Omens of Trinity update. That's what it's called. Ninja Gaiden Ragebound is coming from the Blasphemous devs.
Blasphemous is fucking awesome, and I'm excited about this. I like Ninja Gaiden. So apparently this has nothing to do. This is like a standalone thing. It's not. It's a
separate from the Xbox game.
Yeah, like the story is different.
Yeah.
I mean, but this looks sick.
You see Ryu Hayabusa in the trailer, but apparently you don't play as him. You play as somebody else from his village, Kenji Mozu.
Okay.
So that'll be interesting.
But Blasphemous is sick, and I like old 2D Ninja Gaiden.
I'm excited for this. So.
This is going to be pretty awesome.
Yeah. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth coming to PC. Last of Us Part 2 Remastered also coming to PC. A new Tekken 8 fighter from the world of Final Fantasy. We're getting Clive from Final Fantasy 16.
They announced this like they do a Smash reveal where they showed him first and made it seem like it was Final Fantasy 16 stuff, and then they bait and switched with Tekken 8, and I thought that was fun.
Nice. Warren Spector's a new stealth game, Thick as Thieves, was announced. Looks all right. I hope it's not dumb.
It doesn't look like much gameplay going on.
Yeah, like I kind of don't like that they used the Been Caught Stealing by Jane's Addiction on there. I feel like that was tonally wrong.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I feel like Warren Spector created the Thief games, so like those are good games, and this looks like it's harkening back to that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, hopefully he doesn't fuck it up.
I need actual gameplay if I'm gonna be shown a stealth game.
Yeah. Slay the Spire 2 first gameplay trailer. Dying Light the Beast gets a new trailer. Core Keeper devs reveal a new game called Koyora. Steel Hunters, a new mech game from the World of Tanks developers. Sifu devs reveal Rematch, a soccer game.
This is strange.
Yeah.
I bet you people are going to like this.
Yeah. Overcooked creators give us Stage Fright. Superhero workplace dramedy Dispatched announced. This is from, I think, the original creators of The Wolf Among Us, and it stars Aaron Paul, Jeffrey Wright, and Laura Bailey.
You going to play this?
Maybe.
Looks like up your alley.
It's up my alley, but like, I hope it's not cringy, you know?
Yeah, it looks like it might be cringy.
Yeah.
Apparently, Screamer is an old PC racing game.
Okay.
Like from like the 90s. And,
all right.
and I looked at footage of the old game, and it looked pretty cool. So,
right.
I don't know. I don't know what this will be like.
Well, it's coming back. Good on you. The first Berserker, Kazan, gets a release date, and that's it.
There were a lot of great announcements this time.
Yeah, there's some good announcements.
Last year there was like nothing.
Yeah.
And I was expecting nothing this year. But,
yeah.
There were a lot of really good things.
Yeah, no, there's good stuff here. I'm excited for a lot of these games.
Okay. Anthony Mile, thank you for the 290 bits. Hey, Wolf Bros. Today is my 21st birthday, and no one wanted to celebrate with me, so I'm grateful today is also podcast day. Everybody, celebrate with Anthony.
Yes.
Yeah. Happy birthday. That's it. 21 Pilots was awesome. The band playing the song.
I don't know. I missed all the musical.
Yeah, they play the song. I'm not a big 21 Pilots.
Me neither. New music.
Where are we now? Oh, we got a lot more news to cover.
Yes.
You've heard of HDMI 2.1.
Yes.
Boy, wait.
Throw that shit in the trash because we're getting another one.
Coming, baby.
HDMI 2.2, we may see the next HDMI, standard HDMI 2.2, in only a matter of weeks. According to an email from the HDMI forum sent around to press, including Engadget this weekend, a new specification will be announced on Monday, January 6th in Las Vegas, ahead of the official start of CES 2025. So I know where you'll be. Details at this point are pretty scant, as we're told. All we're told is that a new spec enables a wide range of higher resolutions and refresh rates, and will be supported with a new HDMI cable.
Too soon.
Really too soon. Like,
nothing supports 2.1.
People are just wrapping their heads around 2.1.
Also, there are multiple 2.1s.
Yeah. This article even says, like, the most recent update was 2.1B from last year.
Yeah, and all they did was they took some specs that were originally in 2.1A.
Yeah.
And they just said, no, those are B now. And they lowered the HDMI 2.1 spec.
Yeah.
So a lot of cables that were HDMI 2.0 are now 2.1.
Yeah.
And then now you actually need 2.1B.
Yeah.
So it just fucking complicates everything even more. And if you go on Amazon to buy a cable, you might not necessarily know if it's 2.1.
You have to read all of the fine print.
Yeah, we
are long gone from the days of like just buy an HDMI cable. Doesn't matter from where, doesn't matter how cheap, it will just work. So now we got to look for the spec and the cable length and all this other nonsense.
I would argue this sucks, actually.
Yes, this is bad. I don't like
2.1,
this.
2.2. I'm interested to see what it's capable of. I mean, I kind of just want TVs to just do DisplayPort.
You know, it reminded me of, I know you didn't see Breaking Bad, but there's a scene in Breaking Bad towards the end where Skylar takes Walt to their storage facility where she keeps all the money he gets from doing drugs.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like 4 foot tall. The 4 foot tall, like by 6 foot wide stack of money. And she's just like, how big does this have to get? Like, when is enough? And that's how I feel about fucking this. Like, 2.1 is already supposed to do like 8K. Nobody has an 8K TV. Now you're over here threatening 10K TVs.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
It's very stupid. It'd be cool if it had like power. I mean, I don't know what else we could expect from that.
I don't know. Because, like, you know what's going to happen now? The cable length is going to get shorter.
Yeah.
Like, it's not going to, like, 6 feet is like perfect for most people. And now it's going to be like, no, it can only be 3 feet. And then you got to get a repeater.
Thunderbolt is the best cable because it does everything, but also very short.
Yes.
Yeah.
And also, USB-C, an even bigger shit show.
That is also a giant shit show. Okay, so I guess we'll see that. So when is the inauguration?
20th, January 20th.
Oh, no. When is the insurrection? Is my when is the vote or whatever?
Or
when they count the when is the insurrection going to happen in 2025 is my question.
Well, we'll just have to wait and see, won't we?
Because it's not the 6th.
No, that's just when they happen to storm the Capitol.
No. That's when they counted the...
Well, that's
when they took the senators, like, things. Well, what do you call them? Everybody in the chat?
No, that's because that's when Pence, like... certify that the election was
because they all met and
right.
formally like gave their
right
whatevers.
I don't know. Government is way too complicated.
When is that happening next year?
I don't know
because it's not the 6th.
No,
it's got to be that week though.
Yeah.
Because I want to know, is it happening at the exact same time as CES? Because that's going to be a fuck.
It's going to be so hard to like.
There's going to be fires and riots and everything, and I'm going to be trying to see what's going on with HDMI 2.2. Ratifying the vote.
Yeah.
That's certifying. Certifying the election is the words that I was trying to see. This is your political podcast.
Yes. Hi. Hello.
Anyway, more of all the important news. Microsoft, hey, once again, they're giving the try one more time, redesigning the Xbox.
Microsoft is updating the Xbox app on Windows today with hundreds of PC games that weren't previously available and a new home experience. It's part of the broader effort to make Xbox app the place to find PC games, regardless of whether they're part of the PC Game Pass or not. Earlier this summer, we began working with partners to bring all PC games with Xbox features into the Xbox app. Explains Chris Charla, General Manager of Content Curation at Microsoft. We're super excited to see what Xbox games come to Windows PC from game creators in the future, and to welcome nearly 400 titles that previously weren't discoverable or purchasable in the Xbox app. The 400 new games include titles from Japanese studios like Kemco and Kairosoft, along with titles like The Invisible by Double 11. More than 100 of these new titles also come from Xbox Play Anywhere. So if you buy the Xbox console version, then you can play the PC version too. Universal Xbox ownership, as well as Universal Cloud saves on Xbox, and cross-play between Xbox versions on console and PC and other platforms at the developer's discretion are awesome features players love.
Just change the UI. That's all it needs. It just needs to look like an Xbox.
Yeah.
That's it. And then you got the best app for PC gaming. And let us add non-Xbox games.
Well, that seems to be like the big focus, is being able to add like non-Xbox games, or like games that have Xbox features but aren't necessarily in the Xbox. Microsoft is rolling out new UI for the app on Windows today. The home UI now includes feature content from PC Game Pass and the Microsoft Store, alongside collections of deals and discounts. Microsoft has also added a jump back in section that lets you quickly get back into recent games just like you can on Xbox.
That's cool. I like the fact that you can just jump back into where you were on Xbox.
That is fun.
But again, the UI is the most important thing.
Mm-hmm.
All right, next.
You want to keep talking about Xbox?
Okay.
Since we're on it. No more Xbox exclusives going forward. That's right. So sorry you wasted money on a series. That is according to Windows Central executive editor Jez Corden, who discussed his understanding of Microsoft's first-party strategy in a series of Twitter posts this weekend. Xbox won't have exclusives going forward. Everything is timed exclusive at most, he claimed. If some games are exclusive, it's going to be incidental at best. The case-by-case argument is by and large going to be multi-plat, timed, and with maybe very few outliers. And responding to a user who said that they didn't believe Xbox's upcoming Fable game would come to PlayStation, Corden wrote, "That game was monstrously expensive. It might not be day one, but it'll come with the current plan in place, in my opinion." So, yeah.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. I mean, people seemed upset about this, that there are no exclusive. People are like, I clicked on the wrong link.
Well, because like exclusives for the longest time, that was like the reason to get the console. Like you could play Street Fighter on any console, but you can only play Halo on an Xbox. You can only play Uncharted on a PlayStation.
I wonder what the stats are these days, because back in our day, it was you get one console and that's it, and you were a fanboy of that console because it was the one that you had.
Right.
Now, I don't know if it's the same.
My understanding is that PC gaming is actually on. Because of the ease of use of like Steam and Epic, because of goddamn kids and their Fortnites and their Minecrafts and their Roblox.
It's a lot of that. It's a lot of all the popular creators that you see they use PCs because they have money, and that's the best quality you're gonna get. And if you're streaming, you need the PC anyway. So doing it all on that is if you're gonna be a professional Fortnite or Call of Duty player, you're gonna be playing it on PC.
Yeah,
because it's just for the max that you can get out of it.
Yeah.
But there are massive streamers like what's his name, Jinxie, who he still streams Rainbow Six on Xbox.
Oh wow.
And I think he streamed from an Xbox for like a really long time, and he's like a huge streamer. So it's possible. I still think consoles are the best entry level, and I still think they're the easiest to use. Absolutely. And I don't think they're taking much market away from console. I think that just gaming has grown so much that a lot of the fall over has gone over to PC.
Yeah.
And it's also just a lot of people have computers, so they could just play their games on that. I think that's what Microsoft is going after, is people who just want the easiest way to play the game. They already have an Xbox. Yeah. It's their computer.
Well, that's all part of this is an Xbox strategy.
Oh, yeah.
I did see, I don't have it in the keep, but like Satya Nadella was talking about that. Like, we're going to change the way people think of Xbox. Nobody's fucking buying Xboxes.
Yeah. Former Marathon director sues Sony and Bungie.
Former Marathon game director who was fired from Bungie earlier this year for alleged inappropriate contact has spoken publicly about the allegations in a post on social media. Christopher Barrett talked about how difficult and painful the last 9 months have been since leaving Bungie, while announcing that he has filed a lawsuit against Sony and Bungie. He claims that the claims and attacks are unfounded and damaging his reputation. The past 9 months following my departure from Bungie have been very difficult and painful for me, as I've had to endure rampant speculation, unfounded attacks on my reputation, and innuendo about what happened behind the scenes to cause me to be fired after 25 years of loyal service. I want to thank everyone who has been there for me. He continued, I've eagerly awaited the opportunity to get the truth out there and tell my side of the story, and now it is time. Today I'm filing a lawsuit against Sony and Bungie to hold them accountable for their conduct and the damage that has been done to my reputation and my career. For those unaware, Bloomberg's Jason Schreier reported that at least 8 females came forward with allegations against Barrett. An internal investigation would discover that Barrett would call lower-level employees attractive while also asking them to play truth or dare. In addition, Barrett reportedly flaunted his wealth and power within the company while hinting that he could help people advance their careers. For his side, Barrett says that his name will be cleared as the lawsuit plays out. I am confident that the facts are on my side and look forward to clearing my name through the lengthy process, he said, through the legal process, because this is a pending legal matter. There is nothing else I can say about it at this time.
Good luck, buddy.
Yeah.
He's suing Sony, but he's not suing the people that called him out.
I mean, I think it's just easier to fire them. To sue the company that fired him, you know?
Yeah, but I feel like, I mean, I don't know anything about these types of situations, but if you truly think that they are lying, then
go after them.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Maybe just the companies have more money.
Yeah, that's probably what it is.
Yeah.
Oh.
This guy's not trying to prove that he didn't do anything wrong. He's trying to just get some money out of it.
He's trying to rebuild his reputation, whatever that means.
It doesn't sound like he is. It sounds like he's trying to just get money out of the situation, because he could probably has more of a chance of winning like a false firing than he does actually clearing his name.
Yeah.
Oh, whatever. There's a lot of stuff like that in the games.
Yeah.
Anyway, Walmart starts their own gaming news site. This headline, just from the headline, I'm grossed out by it.
The ever-dwindling field of games media has a new player, Walmart. Restart is the new website run by Moonrock, a marketing company specializing in bringing brands to video games and sponsored by the largest retailer in the United States.
What does that mean, specialize in bringing brands to video games?
I don't know. Like, I guess getting Coca-Cola to be in a video game.
This website looks like shit also.
Doesn't surprise me. A new game site sponsored by Walmart doesn't seem inherently bad, especially as the games landscape continues to shrink. Publications are shutting down, revenue is driving up, and existing sites now operate with fewer and fewer employees. Earlier this year, Ziff Davis, IGN's parent company, acquired a handful of sites, including Eurogamer, Rock Paper Shotgun, and VG247. Skipping ahead, Restart's business model isn't wholly unique. Before it was unceremoniously shut down earlier this year, Game Informer magazine was owned and operated by GameStop, and for decades, Nintendo ran its own magazine. Other websites like IGN, Polygon, and The Verge also run sponsored content and include affiliate links to art and articles. To survive in the current digital media landscape, the support of deep-pocketed individuals or corporations is all but required. In this regard, Restart is just like any other publication. According to its editorial mission, Restart is sponsored by Walmart. Save money, live better. Walmart. But we operate as an independent site. The mission statement explains that while its articles will feature affiliate links to Walmart products, the site itself will receive no portion of the sale. We hope you can see this gives us zero incentive to provide biased review scores or other information about a game. But Restart is also entering a media landscape where the wall between corporate interests and editorial independence has become preciously thin, and with few rare exceptions, games media has slowly shifted away from providing readers thoughtful discussions and critiques to providing a product that can be monetized to hell and back. That driving ethos is clearly outlined by a post on Moonstruck A post by Moonstruck on its Substack, Restart.run serves as a dynamic hub where gaming content meets retail opportunities, allowing gamers to transition effortlessly from discovering new games to purchasing them on Walmart's platforms.
So this website at the very top, it says Triple I Gaming News powered by Walmart.
I might actually throw up.
Triple I, like high end independent.
Yeah.
Like wealthy independent.
Yeah.
Weird to self-proclaim that.
Yeah, you don't deserve that, right?
But the website looks fine. I was just initially grossed out by this image. It's just there's a lot of different art styles thrown together, and it made me think the whole website was bad. But the website's fine. It just feels gross that Walmart is doing this. I don't think it's. I mean, I understand a big company wanting to have like a gaming news outlet, like what GameStop did.
Right.
It would have been a great opportunity for Walmart to buy Game Informer.
Yeah,
that would have been fine.
Walmart did buy Vizio. Did you hear about that?
I thought Vizio was. No, that's Insignia. Insignia's Best Buy.
Yeah.
I didn't know Vizio was independent.
Yep. Walmart bought them. Not to have an in-house TV brand, because they already have that. It's because apparently Vizio's data collector.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yep. And, why do you think they started a video game website? Not because they care about gaming news. They want to know what you're clicking on. They can serve you ads.
I don't know why they did this. This doesn't make any
sense.
I
just told you why they did it.
It still makes no sense. What? For affiliate links?
Yeah. Not even
no one's going to Restart. No one's going to this website.
No one's going to this website. Everyone's going to be skeeved out that it's a Walmart-funded video game website. People who already would make fun of Game Informer for being owned by GameStop.
Pay me more.
Yeah.
There's affiliate links baked into YouTube.
Yeah.
For Walmart, and they fucking just put those links on. Like they sometimes it's automatic.
Yeah.
Like I don't even get to choose. It just does it.
Mm-hmm.
So pay me more, and then I'll fucking put your affiliate links.
Yeah.
The problem with Walmart is that they run it kind of like Amazon, where they could be like sellers that aren't Walmart.
Yeah.
So it gets weird.
Yeah.
You see some listings that to be fair, they do have a pretty good commission compared to other websites.
Right.
But you could accidentally link some weird version of the product. Anyway, publishers aren't committing to 2025 releases because GTA 6. That makes kind of a lot of sense.
Grand Theft Auto publisher Take-Two Interactive still hasn't revealed GTA 6's release date, and other publishers are reportedly refusing to commit to 2025 until they know they can avoid it. Anonymous sources familiar with the publisher deliberations told Bloomberg that the anticipation for Rockstar Games' next big title is so high that it's causing ramifications for the rest of the industry. GTA 6 is currently scheduled for a vague fall 2025 release, but many are cautious of a delay since Rockstar hasn't said anything about the game in over a year since it released its record-breaking trailer showing off the modern Vice City. Publishers therefore want to see if Rockstar will release GTA 6 in fall 2025 or postpone it to 2026, essentially so they can do the opposite. GTA is such a colossal franchise that rivals are scared of it monopolizing consumer attention, and GTA 6 in particular is expected to be the best-selling video game of all time.
I think that, yes, you would probably want to avoid the weeks surrounding Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah.
But I would argue that after Grand Theft Auto, like a month after, some casuals will start to get bored and they might want something else for their new console that they just bought.
True, but Grand Theft Auto, historically, has been very good at just selling out left and right.
Yeah, it will dominate the market, but I think it will also be really good at bringing people into the game market, and they might stay for other stuff.
Yeah. No, it's
like when Linus Tech Tips releases a video, people got to do something after they watch their Linus Tech Tips video. So they come over to the WULFF Den, baby.
Hey, there you go. We're America's answer, so we're better than that.
So be the second best is what I'm saying. It might. Grand Theft Auto is so big that there will be fall off.
Yeah.
That will help the rest of the industry.
Right, but I understand. Like, if Grand Theft Auto comes out in November, you don't want to put a game out in November.
Yeah.
So you're gonna need.
But if you release it in December, you might see a little bit of runoff from the Grand Theft Auto audience.
Yeah.
All right. In other news, Unpacking dev, they're not happy.
No.
I saw this. Let's just read the tweet.
Okay.
Oh, this is a skeet. I'm sorry.
Oh, gotta get it right.
Yeah, I saw this tweet, I think. It's been over 2 weeks, and these are still on the eShop. Nintendo hasn't responded to any of our reports of these egregious scams, which are using our trademarked game name and purposely tricking Nintendo customers into buying cheap fakes. And it's a screenshot of games that are clearly ripping off Unpacking.
Yeah.
That is straight up Unpacking, though, in the top left, right?
Yeah, that's the actual game.
That's legit Unpacking. It's $20. Then you have Unpacking Universe Dreams, Unpacking Deluxe Edition, Unpacking Chill Music Pack, Unpacking Haunting Locations, and Unpacking New Chapters. Yeah, that's straight up just the name of their game. And it's clearly trying to capitalize. It's clearly trying to make it seem like it's a it's like DLC or something. When it's you guys would obviously know that it's not, but a casual might not know that. Nintendo, people have been saying Nintendo has a really bad eShop problem.
Yeah.
And I honestly have been disagreeing with that. I think that if you're browsing for games on the eShop, get a life. go look somewhere else. I think it's actually good that Nintendo just lets fucking anything on the eShop, because it used to be a lot worse. It used to be they never let anything on the eShop.
Yeah, no, it's good that they opened up the gates, but like,
this is an overstep.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is copyright issue. The Unpacking.
It reminds me of like
actually file a cease and desist.
It's actually just as bad as like, you know, the App Store, because there's like 1,000 Unpacking clones on there.
Yeah.
No official Unpacking even. So
yeah, I would say this is why the DMCA exists, or this is why this is a case for actually using the legal system to do a cease and desist. But I don't want to say Nintendo's out of the woods. I think that this is an issue that they should address. But the fact that they let like just trash on the eShop, I don't think is really necessarily bad. Anyway, Capcom committed to reviving old IPs. Yay!
Yes. Going back to what we were talking about before.
Picture of Dino Crisis.
Yeah, that's the one we want. Capcom has confirmed that the publisher plans to revive more old dormant franchises after the recently announced new Okami and Onimusha games. That sound you just heard was thousands of Dino Crisis fans around the world gasping at once. On December 12th, during this year's Game Awards, Capcom announced Onimusha Way of the Sword and revealed an Okami sequel that was in early stages of development. Both reveals were big surprises. Capcom hasn't published a new Okami game since the Weird DS spin-off Okami Den in 2010. Meanwhile, it's been almost 20 years since the last proper Onimusha. The last game was released in 2006 on the PS2, Onimusha Dawn of Dreams. So seeing both franchises get new sequels announced in 2024 was unanticipated, to say the least, and Capcom isn't done bringing back old franchises. Over the weekend, Capcom put out a corporate press release reconfirming its plans to revive Onimusha and Okami. In that press release, the publisher behind Monster Hunter and Resident Evil also explained that it wants to create new installments of other, not specified, dormant video game franchises. In addition to regular releasing major new titles each year, Capcom is focusing on reactivating dormant IPs that haven't had a new title launch recently, Capcom said in the December 13th press release. Capcom is working to further enhance corporate value by leveraging its rich library of content, which includes revisiting past IP, like the two announced titles recently, in order to continuously produce highly efficient, high quality titles.
Capcom has had a lot of success in doing that. already with Resident Evil.
Yeah.
And they know that. I mean, I don't know what their metrics are for what makes a game successful, because all of these studios seem to have like insane metrics that they expect out of their games. But I think it's clear that the Resident Evil franchise has done great.
Yeah.
I think it's their top, is it?
I think it's their top selling franchise.
So, yeah, they're going to keep doing it. Hey, you know what else is dormant? Fucking Mega Man.
Yeah.
Do something.
I mean, what was it? Mega Man, Bionic Commando, Dino Crisis. A lot of their fighting games that aren't Street Fighter, like Darkstalkers, hasn't seen a new entry in ages.
Yeah, that's a good point.
There's a lot of there's a wealth of franchises out there that they could like bring back and do very well. They've been on a hot streak. Their games have been performing very well.
Yeah.
So
I keep forgetting when games are Capcom games like Monster Hunter.
Yeah.
And Okami. I forgot that was Capcom.
So, I'm excited. This is cool. This gives me hope of Dino Crisis coming.
Yeah. I mean, I hate to always be relying on nostalgia bait.
Yes.
But also, that's what works.
Yeah.
That's what works for me.
Works for a reason.
Get me excited. Last news, Sega. They want to be rock and roll again.
Yes. After a night of hot Sega announcements at the Game Awards, hot Sega announcements, the company's newly appointed president and COO, Shuji Utsumi, nailed it? Utsumi sat down with Eurogamer to talk about his plans for the future. The chat covered all things from Utsumi's previous work with Sega and the upcoming line of revival projects.
Utsumi.
To the announcements from the Game Awards themselves, and naturally, there was a little dig thrown at Nintendo for a good measure, albeit in a friendly way. When discussing the number of Sega franchises that have been left dormant over the years, Utsumi began to reflect on how they came to be in the first place. Sega's role was to invent rock and roll, the company president stated, compared to Nintendo. Nintendo's like pop music, good music, jazz. It's a comparison that maybe isn't all that far off. The attitude of, say, the Genesis does with Nintendo marketing campaign is certainly more rock and roll than Nintendo's comparatively vanilla Play It Loud. But it's funny to hear the newly appointed exec say it and make such a comparison all these years on. Come on, who'd rather be described as pop music over rock and roll? He goes on to say that if you have attitude, Sega's the company for you rather than Nintendo. And he also said that the company that he hopes to bring back with its new and upcoming releases. We have such a beautiful content value as Sega and some other IPs, and we're trying to revive it with a little bit of flavor of hip hop now. So like he's Limp Bizkit. He's gonna be Limp Bizkit crossing rock and roll and hip hop together. I'm down with that.
I was a little disappointed with the Sonic movie because I wanted it to have more edge to it.
Right.
And I think we'll see that with the new one.
Right, because this is the one with the edgy hedgehog.
Yeah. So, I hope it's not. I mean, I want it to be a different type of campy.
Right.
I want it to be like Linkin Park.
Right.
And not the Beach Boys. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sega, I don't know what they're doing with games.
Yeah, like they're in a weird spot because like they
don't know what they're doing with Sonic.
No,
they seem to be just constantly missing the mark.
The Yakuza games are doing very well for them. The Like a Dragon games.
A lot of their RPGs seem to be fine.
I mean, I think
Atlas is a great studio.
I think they had a hit with Sonic Frontiers. People like that game. People are excited for Sonic X Shadows Generation. But like they even admitted that Sonic Superstars like didn't hit the mark.
I feel like the problem is that Sonic X Shadow Generations probably sold pretty good.
Yeah.
And that game is not that good. So they're not going to learn anything about it.
Yeah, it's a weird place that Sonic is in. I mean, it's not a bad place, but it's not like...
It's kind of a similar place to Pokemon where they can just shovel out trash and people will buy it anyway.
No, because I think Sega is more aware of that because of their history.
I think Sega is more at risk of people not buying the next game than Pokemon is. But I think it's a similar hole to... I think Pokemon will end up there.
Right.
If they keep releasing trash. And that's all the news.
Yes.
Now it's this.
Word of the week.
Wrong. It's a skeet.
Oh!
This is Daily Raiden Metal Gear. It's a tweet thread between Raiden and the Colonel. What's the Patriots? Don't worry, kitten. Okay, yay.
You would say that.
That's it. Notably, it's the Colonel when he's an AI.
Yes.
All right. Now we'll talk to you guys.
Yes, and we'll start with people who left comments on last week's WULFF DEN Podcast over on the YouTube channel, youtube.com/WULFF DEN Podcast.
Seen any drones? This is me talking.
I've heard about the drones.
I was a skeptic. I was a drone skeptic. I thought all of these videos I'm seeing, I was like, those are planes, and these guys are insane. And then I saw one in real life, and I like 3 in a row, and I was like, those are fucking drones, dude. Now I'm a believer.
Sure you didn't just see birds? Because all birds are drones.
Birds with FAA regulation lights on them? Herman, from last week's WULFF DEN Podcast in the comments, said, I haven't lived with my brother in 10 years, and I really miss him. Hearing you guys argue about the stupid-ass firmware update for the Stadia controller brought back some really nice memories. Thank you. No problem, man.
No problem.
Anytime.
I'm glad we can bring that brotherly nonsense to you.
David Mulcahy. I got an unexpected Christmas bonus of a prepaid credit card and ordered a Steam Deck for myself, literally refreshing the order status page over and over. I am in Ireland, so I am assuming my order will be fulfilled from Germany. In any case, I am looking forward to it. I have no idea how that works.
Yeah.
But congratulations on
your new
Steam
Deck. You're going to enjoy it.
It will show up when it shows up.
Yeah.
I very rarely check for order or like where stuff is,
right?
Which is kind of a problem because sometimes I just forget and then I don't.
No, I have tabs open on my browser and I hit refresh all the time. And like this time of year is especially bad for me because I have like 20 tabs open. Just keep refreshing.
I don't want to look. I just want it to come when it comes.
Yeah,
which was a problem when I lived in an apartment because sometimes things would just be in the package room for like a month and I'm like, oh wait, that thing. Randusky says Steam OS is gonna be the reason I switched to PC gaming. As soon as I saw the Steam Deck, I started dreaming about building a Steam machine. Here's hoping it happens. I hate Windows. Don't want it. But Linux on Steam? Oh yeah. I shit on Windows a lot, but I don't want to say I hate it because it is sometimes nice to have a system that can do a lot of things. It is sometimes not nice to have a system that can do a lot of things. Sometimes I just wanted to do one thing really easily. So I agree to an extent. Night Weather says, I feel like you guys need to go back and play Clone Wars. The best part of the game was the arena minigame, up to 4-player co-op, where you could be either Jedi, Wookiee, clone, or droid and fight endless hordes of increasingly more difficult enemies. Whatever the main game was like is debatable, but that arena co-op is the best party/friend co-op game ever. That's a tall order. So many hours of me and my friends playing just the arena mode. Try it. Okay.
All right.
Maybe I will try it.
Yeah.
I think that a lot of those types of games, like, for example, Shadows of the Empire. Loved Shadows of the Empire.
Yeah.
Played it over and over and over again. Played specific levels over and over. I would just turn on the N64 just to play specific levels. Going back and playing that game sucks. Game's not good. Steenar says Mario was only ever in it for the money and the fame. What are we talking about? He probably told the pigs that Luigi was at McDonald's. Oh. Mario ratted out his brother.
If you watch like some of the Mario spinoff games, like Mario Party and like I think it was one of the Mario sports games, he does treat his brother like shit.
I think it was a Mario Kart game where he stepped on his foot, wasn't it?
There's another one where he hits him.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a piece of shit.
Yeah. Problematic
Justice
fade.
for Luigi, the game.
Yes.
For the game,
yes.
Luigi. Still want Shadows of the Empire to be ported over, though.
Yeah, I'm surprised it's not on Aspire's list of games to come over.
I do want to play it again.
Yeah.
But I know what it's like.
Well, Hasbro is releasing Shadows of the Empire figures again. Like, they're doing Black Series, Prince Shizor, and Luke in the red outfit. I fucking pre-ordered those. Sorry, honey. So, I mean, we're up for a Shadows of the Empire revival.
I want more of that expanded universe stuff to lead into modern canon.
Yeah.
All right, now we're in the chat. How y'all doing?
Hey.
How you doing? They're still talking about the inauguration in the YouTube
We're
chat.
in the chat.
Sorry. Kyrick with 100 bits. Hey, Wolf Bros. I hope y'all are doing well. Y'all gonna see Sonic 3? It's probably gonna be the best movie of 2024. I haven't seen many movies.
I saw Planet of the Apes and Deadpool and Wolverine in theaters.
It would not be too hard to be better than Deadpool and Wolverine.
No, but it might be hard to be better than Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
I heard that was very good.
Bob.
I keep hearing about Planet of the Apes.
Please.
The drone's all over by me in New Jersey. My area is going insane.
I'd imagine Joyzy is like losing it right now.
Yeah. I saw a video of people trying to shoot him out of the sky.
That doesn't surprise me. If I owned a gun, I would shoot them out of the sky.
Well, you're shooting stray bullets in a residential area. Probably not a great idea.
No.
They do eventually have to come down.
Yeah.
So, Will, what is your opinion on Kamiya and Koyama talk leaving Platinum Games?
And forming Clovers, and Platinum Games reportedly losing major developers.
We talked about
we talked about it.
A little
I mean,
before.
I feel like Platinum is kind of like losing its way. Like, they had a couple of major games canceled. I don't think Bayonetta 3 sold what it needed to sell. Kamiya is, he's a very prickly man, so he probably got fed up with the way they were doing business and left. So yeah, why not go back to the well? It's more impressive that Capcom was like so open to A, working with him again, and B, willing to let him do Okami again. Like, that's what we gotta like focus on here.
Yeah.
That is a changing of the guard if I ever saw one.
Yeah. And that's a very good opener for a new studio.
Yeah.
And then he goes on to say, Bob, what did you think about Statler and Waldorf sticking it to Jeff Keighley for some reason? For some reason, those two remind me a lot of you. Me specifically, or us?
I mean,
I like them, and I like that the Muppets are always on the Game Awards.
And they should have just let those two fucking host the show. I mean, my God.
I saw clips of them being posted as cringe, and I understand a little bit, but also have some fun.
Yeah, no,
let them have. Not every joke is gonna be good.
No, like the Muppets do no wrong, right? Like, get bent if you don't like.
Pepe the Prawn was the best.
Oh, he's always the best.
He was the best.
I love that he's a meme now. Have you seen that?
Yes.
Like, it's so good.
Yes.
Oh my God, I am in favor of remaking movies where one human character remains and everybody else is a Muppet. They're fucking doing that to the Aerosmith Rock and Roller Coaster in Disney. So I'm pumped.
Judah Writer, thank you for the 5 months. What's your most anticipated Switch 2 game?
I mean, I know they said Metroid Prime 4 is going to be a Switch 1 game, but there's no fucking way that's going to run well.
Mario Maker 3. They're gonna. I mean, if we're gonna be speculating,
yeah, like that's
Mario
got it.
Maker 3.
Yeah.
Do the Wolf Bros have big Christmas plans this year? No, absolutely not.
No. Try to survive. That's been my plan for the past 3-4 years now.
FYI, everybody, Okami HD is on sale for $5 on the Switch eShop. If you haven't played it before, the sequel comes out. It does run fantastic on Switch as well.
Yeah, good to know.
James Pye says, I know you originally had what? You originally had the one that said Nintendo, but now in your holiday guide you have one that says Retro Pixel. Oh, two things. Funny Playing has two versions of the FPGBC case. I noticed that the one you had had a Nintendo logo on it and the other doesn't. I had 2 different ones. Did I accidentally show a real Game Boy instead of the FPGBC?
You caught him. You caught him.
You would be the first one to let me know that.
Okay. Where am I right now? What do you make it good? What do you got? Okami's also $5 on Steam. Hey, all right. That should probably go down even more, like closer to when that the next game comes out. But $5 is still good.
I showed. This is the one that I showed, and it's definitely FP.
Okay.
Because the board is black.
I mean, the purple color is very much. It's very close to the original Nintendo purple.
Yeah. Yeah, you can see it. It's definitely the funny playing FPGC. But yeah,
the case does say Nintendo.
Yeah, I think that on the website, the newer versions don't say Nintendo anymore because of copyright issues. And also, when you turn it on, it says Game Boy, or it says Nintendo straight up. And if it's in Game Boy Color mode, it'll show Game Boy Color. The updated firmware removes that. They're trying to get around Nintendo copyright, so that's why the newer versions don't have. There you go. Did you watch Craven yet? No, I will not.
I want to. I want to see how bad this is. I kind of love how bad it's getting reviewed.
I saw. I think it was Culture Crave or something. The Twitter account said that apparently, reportedly, Sony was never forced to keep Spider-Man out of their movies.
Yeah, it was their choice.
That is insane.
Yeah.
Whose choice?
I don't know. Like,
even if it's gonna be bad,
yeah,
that would sell. So I would have seen the movies.
Like, I say this till I'm blue in the face, but like those characters not work. They're connected to. The whole reason why Venom exists is because he's a dark mirror image of Spider-Man, and the symbiote connects to somebody. The symbiote hates Spider-Man, and Eddie Brock hates Spider-Man. So that's your connection right there. Kraven the Hunter comes to New York because he's trying to hunt the ultimate game, and that's Spider-Man. That's his whole motivation for existing. Madam Web. What other superheroes connected to webs?
Maybe it would be too expensive, but you would have, even if it was bad, you would have something to the caliber of Batman vs Superman.
I don't know. I also saw something that Sony is genuinely giving up on their Spider-Man universe of villains nonsense now.
Good.
I don't know if they're going to go so far as to sell the rights back to Disney, but I can't hurt. You'd probably make more money from that sale than Madam Web, Kraven, and Venom 3 combined.
Yeah, I don't know what they're holding on to.
I mean, Spider-Man is very valuable as a property.
Yeah.
So.
Longest Wolf Den podcast ever? No. Thanks for hanging out, everybody.
Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. Thank you for chatting with us. As always, the Wolf Den Podcast is every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, right here on twitch.tv/wolfden or youtube.com/wolfdenpodcast. You can't make the show for any reason at all, though. We always put the archive version up over on youtube.com/wolfdenpodcast, so you can go and check us out over there on demand whenever you want. But if you prefer to listen to us rather than watch us, you can do that as well, because we're also an audio podcast on any and every podcast service, such as Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Pocket Cast, Audible.com even. But no matter where you get the show from, folks, please be sure to subscribe, rate, and review us, because that helps with placement on all of those respective platforms.
I don't know when we're going to do the podcast again. We're going to definitely do it January 7th. Might be an insurrection that day, but we're not.
We'll let you know.
We'll let you know where we are. Might be live from... we might do a wacky before that. Maybe we'll do something pre-recorded. Maybe we'll do a live on an off day. That would be weird. But we'll try to do something in between the holidays. But it'll be a wacky. So the next scheduled Tuesday live stream won't be until January 7th. I have a video coming out this week on Thursday and a video coming out next Thursday. And then I'm taking a week off, possibly 2.
Ooh.
I don't know yet. I don't know what the schedule's like. I said I'm releasing a video this Thursday. There's been a lot of problems with the video, so it might be delayed. But there's a video coming out this week and a video coming out next week. This week's video is a sponsored video with Asus, and it's a router, and I was trying the PlayStation Portal, and it wouldn't work with the router.
Oh no!
But I got it to work. So that was my issue. And actually, it's sponsored, so no one's gonna believe me. But Portal works fucking good with it.
Oh god!
It actually is the best I've ever seen the Portal work. Anyway, thanks for hanging out. Go say hello to AJ. See you later. Goodbye.
Bye.
See you possibly next year.